Hi Libra, welcome to your weekly reading. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you really enjoy the energy of our full moon, this past full moon. This was an energy that was there to help us recharge our batteries. It was that type of energy that, we could just take a little break and enjoy ourselves, maybe, take time to just be. Sometimes we don't know how to be. And, this was that opportunity. So I really hope that you were able to do that. So here we are, connecting once again with the universal forces and receiving many of those messages that are going to help you find the clarity. Clarity is a really powerful thing, isn't it? So a lot of my readings, and the purpose why I do this is to be able to see what kind of situations we're in and what are the forces and how you can use those forces in a powerful way. Okay, so being able to have that level of clarity sometimes is just the most important thing, especially in those moments when we don't feel clear. Of course, this is a very overall reading, and you got to keep that in mind. So maybe a lot of the things that are being said are not exactly describing your life situation right now. But as I said, ultimately, there's always going to be messages that are going to be very positive and very useful to anyone. So welcome and enjoy. I always feel that you can always come back. Sometimes the second time around we can learn a lot more and receive a lot more than the first time. So keep that in mind. If you would like a private consultation, I am going to leave my information in the box below. Okay? So let's begin. So the universal forces that are right now supporting this reading comes with the number 9, Sagittarius. That's a fire element. We have air element, number 7. And then we have water with the number 6. Okay, my dear Sagittarius. So I see here a combination of elements, right? That is influencing your reading. We're talking here about the ability to surrender to the change, right? The ability to let go of habits, let go of beliefs that are not necessarily helpful. With Sagittarius, we know that we're dealing with Jupiter, and that is basically the planet of good luck. That's the planet that can bring, right, a lot of opportunities unexpected, a lot of surprises. But it does come with the element of fire, okay, which in a way sometimes is forcing us to go that extra mile to release a lot of our insecurities or a lot of those emotions that can get in our way. So here, as you can see, Sagittarius, right, is this really, awesome element is coming, and it's trying to guide you, right, into the air element. It's basically saying, look where you need to go. Look where you need to aim. And I'm asking you this question, Libra. What do you need to look at that you are not? What are the things that you really need to pay attention that you haven't? There are certain things happening in your life right now that are creating these changes, but are you really paying attention to the right energy? Next to the air, right, we have the water element, which is talking about our emotions. So what are the things that you are looking at? Or what are the things that you are not looking at that you should as far as your emotions go? Because as you can see, with the air, it's all about our ideas, our beliefs, our experiences, right? So a lot of times we tend to have many stories or many experiences that are traumatic. And gosh, unfortunately, when we are being challenged, especially in a relationship, the things that we tend to look at are necessarily not the things that we ought to. A lot of times, those triggers, right, pulls us back into those emotions that sort of trigger the fear and the insecurity. And as a result, we end up not trusting, right? We start questioning. And that's not a good place to be. So once again, remember, okay? Remember, my dearest Libra, that you have what it takes to know better. Okay? You have what it takes to know better. So stop looking outside yourself and recognize that you have an incredible power within that can guide you. Stop looking outside yourself to find the answers and look within. Because it is in that place that you will know what to do. Here are saying you are the answer. And you have the answer within you. Has that occurred to you? Because the message here comes very strong. And it's coming once again in some of these cards. In this particular cycle, my dearest Libra, you're going through a personal growth. So just know that. So if you're going through some growing pains here, it's part of this cycle. So understanding our purpose during this time is going to be very helpful. Remember that when we are ready to change, the universe and you as well, because you create your reality, will attract experiences that will give you the opportunity to utilize, right, those new ideas. Utilize that new understanding, okay? So the opportunity is, one, to know if this is exactly what I want, if that feels right. It is sometimes through this, experiences that we call negative, where we learn to understand better what we prefer. But you have a cooperation of elements here that are very, very positive, that are very, very good as you're moving through this personal growth. Remember that Sagittarius, the emotion associated to Sagittarius is I perceive. So one of the things that I'm feeling here is, don't be so quick at responding or judging or coming to a conclusion, because perception is a twofold, right? We live in a reality of duality. Sometimes, what we perceive is not necessarily what everybody else does. So you have to find other ways to support that perception. So don't be too quick and too hasty to judge a situation. And that's what I'm getting here. I haven't really looked at the rest, but just keep that in mind. A lot of times, the reason why we do that is because we are being triggered, right? A lot of our emotions, especially those fears, are being triggered. And when we are responding from a fearful place, we become very critical. So once again, Sagittarius, which is the god of good luck, it's guiding you and it's helping you along this time. Telling you, have you really, look at what's going on? 9 comes with transformation, okay? The opportunity to change, but it is always in that place, right? Where, they call it the darkest night of the soul, is that instant before we change, before we, overcome the storm, right? That we freeze and feel. It's like all of our fears take a hold of ourselves. And for that moment, we tend to feel like, oh, I'm trapped. So just keep that in mind. You're going through a lot of changes here that are all about growing, expanding, maturing. We're all going through that at some level. So we're all creating all of these opportunities, right? When I say we all, we're talking about the collective, every person. This moment, there are many people that are going through this, vibrational change. So pay attention to your emotions, pay attention to how you feel, and, ask yourself, is this the right emotion? Is this the right thing to do? When we are, influenced by the by the element of air, sometimes we can make decisions very quick, and that's not necessarily the answer. That's an option, but it's not necessarily sometimes the best of options. It may not give us the result that we desire, so just pay attention to that. Here with 6, we're talking about, the number 6 to me, it's not just at a physical level, but at an emotional and spiritual. This is a lesson that is going to, make an impact because it's coming from higher above. So whatever is happening to you in this time, it's being asked by your soul. Is being directed by your soul. So you don't have a lot of control. All you need to do in this case to make things easier is just to surrender, to connect with that part of you that knows better and, try to be receptive to what you're being asked to do or how you're being guided so that you don't create more resistance or more obstacles. I hope this all makes sense. I'm just here translating and doing the best that I can because I don't really know each one of your situation. And of course, this is a very general reading, but this is what I'm picking up. And of course, as a good Libra, here you have 3 different types of elements: fire, air, and water. Hallelujah. With a vibration, with a planet that is very positive. This is a planet that it brings a lot of abundance and a lot of prosperity in every area of your life. So, that's not too bad. That's actually pretty good. So keep optimistic is what I'm hearing. Keep optimistic. It's funny that in 2 of the cards from 2 different decks, you have infinite abundance. Pretty cool. 7 is repeated here, personal growth, right? With the changes, creating that. We have number 3, teaching and learning. And then with 7, once again, that 7 comes up, abundance. So you're definitely being taken care of, Libra. I don't know if you know this, but my friends, I don't know if this makes sense, but I will tell you, when it comes to the universal support you're getting right now, you're very much taken care of. The question is, are you surrendering? Are you trusting the process? A lot of times we resist. And that resistance, nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging you. But in that resistance, it's very hard to feel the protection or the connections or the abundance. So you got to, ease up. So when I look at your cards, in the heart of the center, I see this 5 of Cups. Somebody who's not very happy emotionally. So you made a choice either to move on or to walk away, whatever, but you're not really happy about that choice. Or, it was like you were forced to make that choice and maybe that's what makes you unhappy. Does this make sense? And I want to know why this, discomfort. Well, here we can see that somebody held back. Somebody did not communicate, right? Somebody did not respond in the way you expected. Or there was someone who was asking of you to respond in a particular way and you were not ready. It could just go either way. Here we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant normally tells me about using lessons or life lessons to make decisions. I've learned my lesson, I know better, and that is telling me to, and then it comes the World card. And when we have the World, this is about surrendering. This is about trusting, following your intuition, but it's more than that, right? And these are two major arcanas, right? It's like, this is a vibration that is, coming from stronger forces, right? And then you have the Wheel of Fortune. It's like and then there's justice. What's going on, Libra? And I'm not the kind of person that I tend to remember my previous reading. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But, I get inspired and I say the things that come up. So sometimes I totally forget. And sometimes I forget very quickly. But what is going on? Because you have all of these incredible cards here speaking. And, it's like they're giving messages, very specific messages. Yeah, I see here that in the world, right, you're following, like this sense, there is this inner knowing, right, from beyond yourself. It's like you're getting, and then, it's like you have the World next to the Hierophant. This is no funky business. You're definitely, knowing something here that not everybody else knows. And it has to do about breaking away from a relationship. Something here during the separation that somebody's working on that has definitely put you in this place of being very strong about your decision. We're standing our grounds here with the Six of Wands. This is about relationship. So you made a decision to stand your grounds, right? That led you into the Wheel. But you're kind of unhappy here, right? As you are, feeling really strong about what you're deciding. You see, and when I clarify the Five of Cups, it's like, it's like you had to go and search for the truth. Like, something, you had some doubt in this relationship that you just couldn't trust. And that was enough to just, cut it off or, move away from it or, change your mind, okay? That led you into the Wheel of Fortune. So if you have any doubts whether that decision was the right decision or the wrong, I'm going to tell you that is leading you into the right path. Because here with the Wheel of Fortune, we can see that things are going to happen that it's going to, like there's a surprise factor, right? With the Wheel of Fortune. But it's all about clarity. So, you felt the need to change, right? To move this wheel. Your actions were needed, okay? Your decision was very much needed to change things, right? The dynamic or whatever. So, whatever decision you took, it was definitely needed. And it was not an easy thing to do. Here with the Five of Cups, it's showing me that it was not an easy decision to be made, but it was definitely the right decision for you. And you decided that not until you felt better or more clear that you were not going to do anything, that you were not going to, what I'm hearing is commit. And again, I don't know what's going on. I'm just translating. So I hope this makes a lot of sense to you, Libra. Of course, it's not going to cater to every one of you, but... And with the Queen of Swords, what am I trying to find out? Well, gosh, so I have the Six of Wands next to the Queen, the Empress and the Emperor. Look at this. Okay, so with the Queen of Swords, somebody went to search to see whether this is the type of connection or relationship that was right for each other. But look at the two cards that are next to. And they're next to the Emperor. Somebody here is afraid to get hurt. Somebody here went in search for some clarity because at this moment they don't have it. And it's showing me that it's you. You know, it could also be that the decision that you made, Libra, is affecting this person, right? You know, you broke somebody's heart, or somebody here is unhappy. So it could go in many different ways. But all I know is that this was a decision that was made, and it was not something that just came out of the blue. It's something that you needed to do. You got a lot of support here with the Wheel of Fortune and Judgment. Because here with Judgment, it's all about justice. You know, before we get to Judgment, we get to justice. Before we get to Judgment, we have to have justice, and justice is all about clarity. And then we go right in front of the court, and the court will give us, you know, the answer, right, to what we're seeking. This is, you know, guidance by the higher power. This could also be, you know, a divorce. Could be many things. A separation. Two people going different ways. Somebody finding out something here about the other person that, you know, it broke this, you know, Emperor's heart. It broke away the trust. The other person, as I look at the energy of the other person, they are dealing with the Tower. So here you are with the Five of Cups, and as I look at the person that is interested in you, they're having a Tower moment. This is not an easy situation to be. And, you know, next to them, next to the Tower, we have the Eight of, you know, Wands. This is all about communication. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So somebody's going through a breakdown, an emotional breakdown. Something that was said to this person that brought this Tower moment. And they still feeling it. Yeah. And they're showing me here with the Hierophant. Once again, you're showing as that, Libra, that you decided to think it over and made a decision to let it go. You wanted to go solo, okay? So somebody here came and communicated that, and it's making this person be in a tower moment, right? Where they are, really, it's difficult. But it's interesting because they go into the Six of Swords, and it's kind of like they're, at some point, right? They just decide, well, it is time to move away and get, into this High Priestess. So I am going to, walk into my intuition, just trust my intuition. I'm just going to rely on my intuition. You understand? This person here is coming in the beginning as the Queen of Wands. This is somebody who can be, quite receptive, quite intuitive. But I'll tell you, this queen definitely was juggling here. And this could be you, Sagittarius. You could be coming through as the feminine energy that, moving towards, communicating your truth. You created this tower moment for this other person. It could also be, too, that, the person that you're dealing with, they are now in a position right now where they're really having to deal with this situation. And they're doing the best they can. But what they're going to do is they're going to just rely on the High Priestess. It's very interesting because here is someone who, I'm telling you, they are really hoping that things are going to work out. Yeah. And here it comes, okay? The Star. So when I look at this Queen of Wands, somebody here, it's really, just going their way. They're just trusting their intuition. They're following their, inspiration. And that leads them into a new cycle, right? Where they find the Empress. And with the Empress, they move away and they're able to just kind of let go of all of this chaos. There goes the High Priestess again. Wow, there's a lot of action going on, a lot of highs and lows with this person. So here we have the Knight of Pentacles next to the High Priestess, the Five of Cups, somebody who was not very happy about what was being offered here, and somebody, did not choose, okay? Somebody walked away. And now somebody's hurt. So as you can see, this queen is juggling with these emotions of being left. Now, of course, this could be a man too, but the energy that is coming here is very feminine. And it's funny because it is not funny, but, it's just the way that I express myself. But ultimately, this is all, somebody here, two people are learning a lesson. I believe, Libra, that in your case, I think it's about standing up for what you believe to be true, standing up with, your grounds, being firm. And especially in those moments when you're feeling like your intuition is telling you to do otherwise. I mean, this is very difficult because here, you have your intuition telling you something while everybody else is telling you something else. And a lot of times the tendency that we have is to, do things for the sake of satisfying other people. And is this part of the lesson that you're being, told, that you're learning? Or has it been you that has been left with the decision? Somebody walked away. And part of what you need to learn is to just get over it. I mean, it could go either way. But all I know here, that when I look at your energy, it looks like it's you. You made a decision that you want to walk away. Something told you that, although it's not an easy thing to do, but you needed to let go. You needed to move on. Because there was something about this situation or this connection that was not right. And you have too many, strong energies here, letting you know that, yeah, that was the right thing to do. And here comes the Justice card again. We have Judgment and Justice. And didn't I say that before? It's so funny. I just saw this, or I just connected them. But, didn't I say that before Judgment, Justice comes? So Justice is all about clarity. And how do we get that clarity? Through the High Priestess. Here, in this case, you use the Hierophant. We're talking here about experience, life lessons, what I've learned through the hard way. And I'm going to trust, okay? Something is telling me here to trust. And then as you trust, you have the world. And we're talking here about, the divine plan. Surrendering to faith, right? And next to that you have, I'm going to stand my grounds because something tells me that I need to. And although I'm not very happy about this whole situation, right? But it's definitely important to me, which brings me into the Wheel of Fortune, having the clarity. Next to Judgment. The higher power guides you and ultimately makes the decision for you. So why? For what? So that you can have the answers, so that you can finally understand why you needed to do this. God, I hope this makes sense. That's one of the things that sometimes is challenging when you're doing this overall energies, reading, because, for me, especially that, my whole thing is about translating vibration. I'm tapping into a stream of consciousness here where there's a lot of different energies. So if there's a lot of agitation, which I feel there is, especially when we have tower moments, especially when I'm connecting to, people that are going through this tower moment or through these changes, I feel the vibration. I feel a lot of different energies pulling me in every direction, and every vibration wants to be heard. And a lot of those energies are emotional energies of distress, pain, suffering. And sometimes it's difficult for me, and I have to remember to just take a break and take a breather so that I am able to make some sense. And I hope it does for you, Libra. The important thing for me to say in this reading is that you're going through a personal growth, and this time around is about being able, right, to accept your intuition, to accept that inner guidance, right? Here with the Magick Guardian, one of the things that we are reminded is that stop looking outside yourself and recognize that you have an incredible power within. So if you are doubting that, here my ancestors are reminding you of that. And they're saying you are the magic, you are the answer, and you have it all within you. So keep that in mind. So even more, okay? And what they're saying here, look, Libra, if you have been searching for an answer or a reason to focus, recognize, okay, that all that you are looking for is already within you. So I'm going to say it again. If you have been searching for an answer or for a reason to focus, recognize that all that you are looking for is already within you. Also, they are reminding you that your power can only be powerful when you own it. Interesting. With the hunter, okay, the suggestion here is to not be complacent. And I'm not saying that you are, but that's, what they're saying. Don't be complacent and track down all of your fears, okay? So this is a time where one of the things that you can do that would be really helpful is to look within yourself and find all of those emotions that are coming from a place of fear and change them. Not until we accept them and know they're there, we cannot change them, okay? So if something is being triggered here due to past experiences, this is the opportunity that you're having, okay, to release them. A lot of times it is through those emotions that we tend to attract situations like this. Of course, I always see this as an opportunity to really know what we want. But we want at some point to stop creating this type of situations, especially if it's not something that we want. Oh my gosh, it's so weird because I just saw a vision of a panther. And I saw a panther kind of roaming around. So I don't know if you have any connection with panther. That's so weird. But it's not uncommon to me. So do you have a connection, Libra, with panther? Because I just saw a panther pacing. And as I look at this card, this is a very Egyptian card, which is the Magick Guardian, which is the one that is telling you, hey, remember that you're powerful within you. So I just saw a panther roaming around, pacing. I think I'm saying the right word. So look for that totem, okay? Look for the medicine of that energy of the panther. It was a black panther. And it was kind of pacing and waiting. It's like it's waiting. And they can be, very, very, very intuitive animals. And, when they're going after their prey, sometimes they pace like that. So look into that. Another thing that is being suggested here is to do some yoga, do some practices that are going to realign yourself, your centers, right? And find a sense of peace. Once again, it comes here in infinity abundance. Okay, so I see here you having opportunities, right? Work opportunities where you're going to find yourself, very immersed. And, the money thing is definitely coming. I also see other aspects of your life that are going to be definitely abundant. So, this is a time where we're going to have the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving, Libra. So enjoy. And, maybe this is the chance that you have to sort of let go a little bit of, this turmoil. And, just comfort yourself with your loved ones, your friends, family members. I don't know why I see some people here like, not being close to their family, being away and trying to figure out what to do, if this is a good time to, connect with the family, okay? And what I'm feeling is that you should. I don't know why I picked that up. So, this is not a moment, if you're going through this kind of, situation that I've described, it's a time to just really connect to your family. You'd be surprised how many people are willing to support you. So don't stay alone. Okay, my dears Libra, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoy my reading. Don't forget to love yourself above all things, okay? Just remember, this is a change. This is a cycle where you are being asked to change, to acknowledge something about yourself that you might have not done before. So honor this, time. And I always say, do your best do your best rising above the situation, and always look at the bigger picture. There's a lot of beautiful vibration around your energy, even though, you're going through this challenge. But I don't know why I see a lot of different, vibrations that are really beautiful. And it tells me that it's all about expansion as well as abundance. And I feel the need to say this. Abundance doesn't only come financially. It comes in many different ways. So in this moment, it is a good opportunity for you to go and search for that. What are the areas of your life that are really a true representation of that abundance? Okay, Libra, I love you very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.